Hey, good morning.
Morning,
Just
Wayne.
just want to ask, just how was it this weekend with the pause? If you could just walk us through, this kind of the events of the weekend, how you found out, you had to pause, what were the next steps leading up to getting the clearance on Sunday and resuming activity today?
Yeah. Well, real early, I got a call from our trainer, and that he said that all the results came back, and that the doctors advised him we are in COVID-19 protocol, and so we went, we went right to the protocol, and we reached out to all the players and all that stuff. Definitely disappointed, and gone from there, and then right in the protocol, and then pretty much, as you guys already know, I can't talk about specifics when it's dealing with health and all this stuff, and I'm not gonna. You guys know that, but we just we followed the protocol. We did what we were supposed to do, and then late last night, after everything got reviewed, we were released from protocol and back at it. And we'll practice today at 1 o'clock. So, guys were bummed out, missing the game against Davidson. They were excited to play like the coaches were, but we are relieved and excited to get back on the court today. So when it's taken away from you, you see the guys. They were excited when we were able to get back. We're going to be able to get back on the court today.
Okay, I know as you mentioned, you can't really get into specifics, but was there, I guess, belief of some false positives or anything like that, or?
Yeah, I can't even talk about that because of the protocol and our guidelines and all that stuff. What I did was I talked to our trainers, our administration, and our doctors ran the show and took those steps there, and we just follow that as a staff, which we've been doing since we got back June 5th. So that was pretty much, and I can't comment on that stuff, and I won't, because that's specific health and protocol stuff.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lane?
Coach, outside of Saturday's game, what did you guys miss as a program? Practices, meetings, things like that? How long were you out?
We missed Saturday all day. Saturday, their off day, so we missed all day Saturday. Got word late last night, and then we're back at it today, Lane, and so pretty much that. So, but it's a game. It's a game, and the guys were really bummed out.
Do you guys have obviously it's early in your schedule, but the way the conference schedule is aligned, is it harder to make up something like that later on in the season?
No, the league controls the schedule, so we're not even there yet. I mean, we were dealing with all this other stuff. So once the league and we all communicate, they'll figure it out from there.
Is this can this be a good thing for your team to show them, hey, we dodged a little bit of a bullet this time. We're not on a 2-week pause. We only missed one game. This is why we hammer home what we hammer home to you guys about this.
Yeah, without a doubt. Our guys since June 5th have been doing things the right way. It's still not, it's not foolproof. And as you can see what's going on in the world, and you're trying your hardest as we talk about being COVID smart, but, nothing's guaranteed. But I still think every day, let's stick to it. And this weekend brought us back to the ground about, hey, just stay with it, try to do the best we can so we can keep playing.
Mark Davis?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Thanks a lot for doing this. Wanted to ask you, we've seen some teams go through this before where they seem to have some rust and, after a long layoff. Fair to say that nothing happened too long where you guys are going to have much of a hangover from this?
I hope not, right? I hope not. The excitement that they know they can get back on the court, let's ride that and get back at it, I don't know. It's more the emotional part, right? And, just trying to follow the rules. be diligent in your being COVID smart, this and that, and then you're told you gotta stop and we lose a game. I just think it's a roller coaster of emotions for these young guys under this situation. But that to me is the most sort of most important thing for me. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever the doctors tell us we're gonna do, that's what it is. But I just think that the emotional part of going through this and what's next and how are we gonna handle the next thing. But the neat thing is the guys just want to get on the court. They're hoopers. They want to hoop, and I'm glad we can do that.
Yeah, and kind of along those lines, I mean, you said Saturday was pretty much the only full day you missed, but as you mentioned, it was a game. Does that kind of add to the chomping at the bit feeling, rather, to get out there Wednesday, get up to George Mason and take care of business?
I hope so. I mean, that's why we're here, right? That's why these guys are here, especially right now over this long Christmas break. They're here to hoop and they're here to play games. And so hopefully that excitement to get back on the court quickly is going to be there this week in games for sure.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Guys, additional questions for Coach? Just raise your hand or use the chat.
Coach, actually, if I could ask you about George Mason on Wednesday, once you guys get into conference play, there's a lot more familiarity, especially with a program like this that you guys see twice a year, every year. What's new about the Patriots this year for which you guys have to get ready?
Yeah, I think Coach Paulson, with the way they play, they have multiple guys now, or versatile is the word. They can put the ball on the floor and make plays, but they also have guys that can shoot it. And I think their big guys have really improved the last 2 years, where they can score on people and they can make plays as well. So we got to be ready to play against players that can do a little bit of everything. I think they've changed that way, and they've given us some issues over the last 2 years of using that versatility. So, we got to be ready for that. We all, once you get to the league, everybody knows everybody, but it's still be ready to play, getting on the road to play. Road games are tough, but I think the fun of it is I like to see this young team get on the road again and see how we go about it. And, go up there and play against a very well-coached team that plays a good system, a good style. I think this is a scouting report game where we got to really honor and be disciplined in our scouting report. And that's the next step for these guys to carry over that to a game and now a league game lane for sure. So, they could score the basketball and they can play different ways, and we got to be ready for that. If anything changes in the game, we got to be ready to adapt.
Wes McRoy?
Coach, I know you're limited on what you can say. I guess there's in a way, it almost become like the stigmatism. Like if you have a COVID case, somebody did something wrong. How taxing is it? And that's not the case, but how taxing is it as a head coach to know and try to double and triple check that you're doing everything right, and then maybe something out of the blue comes along and you're kind of left wondering, are you left wondering in ways like, what could we do better? How can we do it better?
All the time, yeah, without a doubt. Look, man, as a coach, you never want the phone calls after midnight or right before 8 a.m. and you get a phone call early in the morning from the trainer. It's like a parent. What happened? Is everybody okay? Are we safe? Are we healthy? And it just stinks. And then you're like, what can we do? What can we do different? How can we do it better? But that's the position you're in as a coach, right? We're just how it goes. But I've said this multiple times, and as long as we continue to do things the way we're trying to do them, I really believe from the top all the way down to all our players, we've been doing a good job of trying to do things the right way. And now they're 18 to 22-year-olds. Like all of us at that age, we're not perfect. We, sometimes you steer off the straight and narrow. We just got to continue to reiterate to our players all the time, try to do the best we can. And we got to do it to our staff too. And, And we got to be vigilant in our approach to, not have halts in our season. But it's hard. It's really hard, and it is taxing. It's taxing on the coaching staff and our trainers and our doctors. And boy, man, it's really taxing on our players because you just never know. And I think it is just like that all over the country. And college athletics, pro sports. What can you control? What's out of your control? But it all affects you.
Wayne with follow-up.
Yeah, so I was wondering, what's the process of working with maybe the league office to figure out a date with Davidson to make up that game? What will that kind of look like the next few weeks?
We're talking with them. We're working on that. And that's the process. The league is in charge of scheduling, and they'll work with the schools to go about that. So I'm sure we're working on that, but there's nothing really to report right now, just because we're dealing with other things up until today. So hopefully we'll get closer and closer to an answer with that.
Okay. And I want to ask you as well, interviewed Vince on Friday, and I asked him sort of what's impressing him most about this year's team. And he said how did they carry themselves. He said there's some young leaders in this group. So I was wondering, with all the young guys you have playing, how do you maybe work to cultivate leadership in those guys? So it's not just Corey, it's not just Vince and Levi and those guys. How do you kind of work to cultivate that?
Well, number one, with Vince, he just has a really good feel out there what to say to his teammates. Communication, it's all communication. You can't make somebody lead. You got to show them how, talk to them about it, and then as they get more comfortable and more confident out there or around their peers, then they can start leading. And that's occurring. Ace is a quiet kid, but on the court, he's much more talkative and very level-headed. So he can lead as the point guard with the ball on his hip throughout the game, and which is great. And the next step is, as we move along in his career, that he becomes a leader off the court as well, and helping the younger guys when he gets older. But on the court as a freshman, Bones is a very good communicator, and once he, he's going to continue to learn how to say the right things to different guys and so forth, and he's learning to do that because he's communicating with the coaches and listening. And I think some other guys are doing that as well. These guys hang out a lot. They like being in the gym together, so I think that really helps.
What do you use kind of for motivation for this group? Are they very self-motivated, or what do you kind of use for motivation?
Well, I think that with the climate we're in right now, Wayne, I think they're excited to play, right? They're excited to get out of their rooms and go to the gym to practice. They're excited to go on go in the arenas to play. So that's just motivation right there as a basketball player. And then I think the other thing, there's motivation, and we got off to a good start. And now they see that, man, these games become important as you move along. Let's be ready to play. And I just, I think they do really like being around each other, so they motivate each other that way.
Thank you.
Mark Davis.
Mike, the first net rankings came out today, and I know that you guys and your players have access to a computer, so you obviously see these things. But is that, pretty good showing for you guys in the first one. Is that something that you address or bring up with the guys at all, or is that something that really doesn't matter on January 4th?
I don't think it matters January 4th, Mark, but our guys know that these guys love college basketball, so they're following everything. And it's not a computer; that they have their phone right in their hand. They get it, so they know. But I don't talk about that. Let's take care of what can we control, right? We control getting better each day. We control. I know it's sort of coach speak, but it's the truth. And the biggest thing with all that stuff, if you win the next one, your numbers get better, right? And we always try to play a really good schedule. The A10 provides a great schedule, and if you go win, you get a good number. And that's sort of the formula for sure. So if we take care of the next one, that always helps us. And so it's great. I mean, it's a good number right now, but it's January 4th, and we got a lot of good stuff ahead of us.
With that said, while you may not bring it up and address it in a team meeting or anything like that, is 31 for a team that was pretty young and unproven coming in. Is that at least kind of a good little measuring stick for you guys as coaches to take a look and say, hey, things are going pretty well right now?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, look, we probably surprised some people. I think at times these guys have surprised me. Maybe they've surprised themselves. I like their competitive spirit. They were excited to go to South Dakota, and they didn't even know where we were going, 24 hours before the game. So like that stuff, that has helped us get us where we're at right now. But man, we've got a lot ahead of us, right? And what a great league for this young team to go through. And we're gonna have some tough nights. We're gonna have some moments where it's gonna challenge us. And I told our guys, for us, I think the biggest thing with this team is how we're gonna deal with adversity. I really believe that. But that's the growth we need to go through. Those are the moments we need to go through to find more out about our team and to continue to grow in the right direction. But prepare to win the next game, and whatever comes about it, learn from it. There's going to be adversity. Doesn't mean you can't still be successful that same night and deal with adversity, but all that stuff is going to make us a better program and a better team for sure.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Got it.